It is the day before my birthday. I just woke up from this like power nap, bro. So yeah, I wanted to make this vlog whenever it was sunny out, but I took a bath at like 1:30 p.m. I got out, took a nap around like 1:45 ish, 2 o'clock, and then I lay down. I was like, all right, I'll sleep for like an hour or so. I go cold to a deep sleep. I thought I slept good last night, but I got up at like 5, but I still fell asleep early, I felt like, for the most part. But yeah, I was like, all right, I'm going to take this short little nap and wake up. And here I am making a vlog at like 6 p.m. And I was just like, all right, I'll just go in my car and make it. I wanted to make it in my room this morning or just in my car in general whenever it was light out, but I'll do it for this sake. And I was like, all right, bro, get up, go make the vlog because this is the last day before your birthday. And this is my second to last day in my, not really, it's not second to last day. I take that back. But either way, this celebration, this is my last year in my 20s, so I'm looking to, go as hard as I can, full throttle, and really, make the most of everything. Because my 20s, granted, I still have this year, but my 20s, it's like, yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of banging back and forth between things. Like, I would say, like, college was really like, when I was in college at 20 years old, I was still a sophomore. I was still learning about myself. I know I wanted to do music, but it was I was being clogged back a lot, so but glad I'm here now. I've developed so much of myself after college and really just molded into myself and who I am and who I want to be. So it's been a journey, but over those years, I would just say, like, yeah, those are special years. So in your 20s, as long as you know what you're passionate about, what you really love, what you like waking up and you're thinking about doing, go full throttle on it. Just go ahead, go full throttle on it. I do think, like, hey, I should have not went to college, but at the same time, it was all meant to be. I don't like to think like that, but I do see it as it would have probably sped up my process as a musician, especially if I went to school for audio engineering. That's a big thing there. I went to school. I went to West Virginia at the age of 18 years old. West Virginia University, studied sports and exercise psychology. So that was a big move for me, and that was not even something I really wanted to do. But from there, like 18 to 22, like, I was still making music a lot. I was looking to find myself, find my voice, but I still had that backing of the school at me. Like, I had to get up and think about school. I'd think about getting my good grades and whatnot, and it was always on my mind. And I didn't go to school for the right reasons too, so it wasn't always like motivating to do. But at the same time, like, I went to school for my mom. I wanted to make her proud for the most part because she went to school. She was a teacher. She was my first grade teacher, and I really just wanted to make her, proud. To be like, hey, mom, I went to school. I got my college degree, but of course, it's not even that big of a deal if you're not going to be using it. So yeah, I do feel like if you're going to go to college because you want to go to college and it's because you love it and that's what you want to do. But other than that, like, you're just going to be wasting your time and your money going to college if it's not something that you want to pursue in the future. But it's a good experience. Gary Vee will say it best. It's a 4-year vacation, which it is. Like, granted, it's like you got to do your schoolwork, but you are just hanging out with friends for the most part, going, doing this, doing that, no set of rules whatsoever. Just, you're having fun. But I guess depending on what college you went to. But yeah, I appreciate you being part of this journey. If this is the first time that you're seeing my video too, my name is Arye. I'm an independent musician. Graduated from college in 2017. Moved back with my family. Signed my first song to Sony Records in 2019. Now we're working towards moving out of my parents' house to do music full time in my own house. With making decisions in life, that's the thing too. You want to make sure you always make the right decisions, obviously, but make the right decisions with the right people and develop those relationships. I really wish I had taken the time to develop stronger relationships, stronger bonds. In a sense, I felt like I did. So I guess I was just learning as I was young, but I trust I've trusted too easily. I was very loyal to a lot of people that ended up not even being part of my life anymore. I put too much faith into, I put too much love into, and it left me feeling like I was just alone, even though I know I'm not. But at the same time, those relationships were so deep to me, I just never thought they would ever be nothing anymore to us. So make sure you have your good friends, the people that you can trust, the people they're gonna be there in your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, like people you want to actually share memories with and actually be part of and get to grow with over time, because that's beautiful about life, developing those relationships with people over time, and you see each other grow, as individuals. One of the best quotes I've learned in my 20s, I feel like it was my 20s. If not, it was when I was 18 or 19, but I do feel like it was in my 20s because I was dating someone at the time, and there's this quote. It was like, okay, pick a flower and you're not gonna let it bloom, but if you let a flower stay in its garden, then you're gonna let it bloom itself. And that was one of the most beautiful things I ever like heard. So if there's a flower that you love, you don't want to pick it. You want to let it grow because you know that there's still growth within that flower. But if you pick the flower, then you're not letting it grow. And that's one of the biggest things that I took into encounter whenever I was in relationships with other females, and just relationships with my friends in general. Like, how are we treating each other? Are we bringing each other down? Or are we lifting each other up to help each other grow? Because I had relationships that were toxic. I had relationships that brought me down, and it's a lack of just me wanting to take forth and being a bigger person to know that it was like not right for me, and I just had to move on. But at the same time, I was loving very hard, and that's why I just couldn't move on. But yeah, building relationships, making sure you go to and do what you want with your decisions, with friends, with whatever career develop you want to do, and explore. Take time to explore. Whenever I was in college, my good friend Michael and I, love you, Mike, if you're watching this, bro. Yeah, man, that we and his brother Chris, love you too, Chris. We drove across the country 3 times, and that was crazy. In college, I didn't always have the funds to just go. Um, that's another thing too. Not like mindset, changing your wording and knowing to say the right words instead of just like living in abundance and instead of living in lack instead of living in abundance, which you should be doing. But yeah, drove to California 3 times back and forth. I didn't have the funds at the time to fly a plane, get in a plane, so we drove. But it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Go experience life. Go drive around. Go explore. Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what do you think about van life? And I said, go for it. After I drove across the country and like I experienced that, I definitely feel like that was a big part of my growth. Like, I feel like it transformed me and really helped me develop into who I really wanted to be. And it just helped me see the world, like not the whole world, but I saw parts of the country I never imagined seeing really. And like, not that I never imagined it, but like when I saw it, I was like, wow, like I can't believe I'm seeing this. Like, we drove out to California. I drove through Texas, I drove through Alabama, I drove through New Mexico, and I saw the way their houses are like in parts of there, and like it was crazy. And driving through Arizona and like seeing like how the air is so much different. It's like a lot more dry out there. It felt more clean for some reason to me. And then I was in California, and that was just surreal. Like, the beach waves are just way longer than the East Coast. Like, I never experienced that type of like weather over there. It's just like very, very just like relaxed energy, like it like I pictured it to be. And I just like thinking about this. Yeah, I do want to travel back there right now, but like that's definitely plans for like these couple years too, and maybe here soon. But it's always been a good time whenever I've been to California. I just love that place. It was at least the parts where I was from. There could be like parts where you're like, oh, I don't want to go there, but whenever I was there, I had a good experience. I do want to go up and go to like the San Diego part more. I haven't really had a chance to do that, but um, let me see if I can fix this lighting on here. Turn it up a bit. Yeah, but traveling, getting to find your soul, find out who you really are. That's what it's all about, and that's why I love traveling. Um, but that was the favorite place I traveled in my 20s. You know, I got to go to New York a couple times, but yeah, California was the best of the best. And if you got a chance, go. And don't think you don't have the chance. And that's like what I was talking about before. Like picking your wording. Like growing up, like there's always like you can't do this or you can't do that, or we don't have enough money or blah blah blah. Like words are very powerful, obviously. So it's like what we're saying to ourselves is like what we are going to be receiving, and what our beliefs, what we're thinking is what's going to shape our reality. So if we're going to be thinking, oh, I don't have the funds to go to California, like I was like saying before. I mean, to fly a plane to California, so I have to drive. That was a limiting mindset, and that's like one of the biggest sins that like I'm a true believer in God. That's a higher power, and the higher power, the biggest thing that the universe wants us to know is that we are abundant. There's so much abundance out here, okay? You can do anything you want. There's nothing that you lack. And whenever you doubt that the universe has abundance for you, or you doubt that the universe has money for you to feel secure, to take care of you and yourself, your whole well-being, then that's a sin. It's a sin to not have money. It's a sin not to feel abundant, because the universe has all that provided already. It's just the mindset of what you're telling yourself and what you're believing yourself. That's a very bad habit. That's an unhealthy habit that has to just be broken, for not just myself but anybody. Like we have to build our like you and I have to build our languages up. Our language barriers have to be broadened and not enclosed with this limiting belief. Oh, I can't do this because I don't know how to do it. There's so much technology out to learn things. There's no excuse for us not to be able to learn things or be able to find a way to make money or to take care of us. And that's the main thing that like I've learned over time, my 20s too. One of the biggest reasons why people are just like not happy, or they're just like not satisfied with life, is usually the stemming problem is money. The stemming issue is money. It might be another mental issue or family member, but the main thing overall, people's attitudes, how people are treating one another, is based off money. Because money has got this figure in our head where people usually were like, hey, we got to work 9 to 5, we got to work hard hours, we got to go and you'll work the same hours as somebody else, but you won't get paid the same. So what does that sense even make? And it might be even a harder job. So yeah, that's just like that whole thing, just like that's not like, it doesn't make sense to me. I believe that money is energy, and that what you put forth with your energy, if you're impacting people in a positive way, then that's how you're rewarded. And ever since then, I just have really been particular about how I'm treating things, like how I'm outlooking things. Like one person might say, hey, I only have one stream of my song. Like scenario, this has happened though. But at least that one person is that one person that listened to the song. And that goes to another Gary Vee. Gary Vee is the best. Gary Vee, appreciate you. You have taught me a lot, and I appreciate that's a lot of things that I've learned in my 20s. And even like, going further, like he's boosted so much confidence in me and unlocked a lot of parts of me where I feel confident. I appreciate that, and that's why I'm inspired to make these videos too, for the most part, because I know messages, regardless if one person's listening to this message, if you receive the message or you're inspired to do something, then that's a big part of the job that's done. And I feel good about this whole overall thing too. It's not just me making a video that's just going through things I've learned. Someone's actually taking something into consideration that might help better themselves in their lives. So yeah, with money and like energy is just like the root of all evil, they say, is money, but the root of all evil is not having money. Because the root of all evil is money in the sense of if you don't have it, you can't really live an abundant or happy life. So that's how it's evil. You know what I mean? So having it is not evil. You can be evil with it, but that's anything. You know what I mean? You can be evil in having a baseball bat. You can play baseball or you cannot play baseball. You can be not doing good things with a baseball bat. So you know what I mean? It's all, everything is a decision. So I have, really taken into consideration what I'm saying, not even just saying like, I'm trying to turn my brightness again on this, not just even saying like I am affirmations, which are great too. Like I believe affirmations, like telling yourself, you know, good sentences and whatnot over that is like healthy for you. But yeah, I think also telling yourself from a like a further point stand, like you're looking to do something and be like positive about the words you're choosing, and you want to say like something about money. We're going that topic again. You'd be like, ask the universe, instead of saying I am like healthy, rich, and abundant. If that works for you, I think the other way too are ask formations, which are like they're like somewhat talked about, but ask yourself how to get things done. Like, how do I get money? How do I make $10,000 this month? Like, write that out, or ask yourself because your subconscious is more prone to be listening in, and like after you hear a question, your subconscious is already taking the time to go, hey, I want to figure out how to do this, instead of it just hearing words and then it just like going past the subconscious. Subconscious wants to figure out problems. So ask yourself how to do things. Like, hey, how do I how do I make the best music? How do I create the best life for myself? How do I better myself with recording music? How do I get more streams on my music? How do I get 1 million streams on my music per month? Like things like that. You're rewiring your brain to take time to be like, it's thinking about what's going on, to feel like, all right, let me see what I can do. But I think that's one of the biggest things is words. The biggest takeaway I want to end on that, because there's a lot of things I've learned in my 20s, but these are like pretty good things. If I have like something on my heart, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really, should have said that. But yeah, I want to go back to like, you know, relationships, not just with money, like how you're treating them like money, but like with your romantic partner. If it's not meant to be with your relationship, then it's not meant to be. Don't force anything. Just turn the light back. But if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Don't feel force if it has to be like something that's not there. Because a lot of times you're finding yourself in your 20s, and if that other person is not ready, because they haven't found themselves, then it's going to be more difficult for you to live a happy life and grow in your 20s. Take some time to find yourself and be lonely. It's okay. And then once you find yourself and you know who you are and you have yourself established, especially when you have money, like that's even better, because when you're struggling with money and you're in a relationship, it's just going to bring a lot of drama. That's why I stayed single a lot after I was in a relationship from my senior year of high school to my senior year of college. Like, it was on and off, but like still it was something in me where I should have just taken the time to explore myself more, instead of worrying about taking that and bringing it long distance, especially in that kind of relationship. So that's especially a good thing too. Don't do long relationships in college, or it's just like in general, it's just like, dang. But if you can, you can, if you really love the person. But take the time to really just focus on yourself, develop yourself, and then once you're fully developed, then pick and choose who you want and where you feel like they match up to your energy, and they see you as worthy, and that you know they're deserving of you. Both of you should be deserving of each other. But like I said, the flower thing, you want to see each other grow, don't pick each other. So yeah, like that goes back to the words again. But like I said, these are the main juice points I can really bring together. Obviously, go after what you want. Like I'm saying, develop yourself. Keep going. Like it's if you're passionate about it, and like I said, if you love it, keep going. But if there's anything else I have to like think about in this video, I'll have to make a separate video of it. But this is the last video I'm saying that's in my 20s. That my last year, my 20s before I'm 29. So that's tomorrow, and I'm grateful for all these experiences. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for knowing you. I'm grateful for you being part of this journey, and just you know, being part of this experience with me and sharing it with me. I appreciate you. I really cannot do this without you, and having people like you in my life just to be here and just understand what I'm talking about. That's like it's great. So I appreciate you and everything you do. Thank you for making the A-Rap pack what it is. It's a pleasure. Much love. A-Rap pack.